Hello everyone and welcome back to Ladida Plays Rimworld. Last episode we discovered there was a little bit of a desync between where the mouse cursor was on the screen and between where it was on the video feed. This will be part of the first two episodes, this being the third episode. It's not going to be a problem anymore. There was a little bit of an odd thing going on with the resolution scaling in the video. There shouldn't be impactful, at least not too much. I'm sure you will even miss it a couple of times. Anyway, let's keep going. So, last episode we got a lot more of the base done. Beds are completely done as they were in the first episode. The kitchen is about being done. The freezer is still heavily in progress though. We need a lot more wood. What a day to be alive in Rimworld, guys. There's plenty of turkeys to be tamed. But for now, we shan't be able to do anything with them. I'm sure that sooner rather than later we can start getting turkeys together. If anything, when this is built and I start having a little bit of food supply, I think I'm gonna get right on just taming some turkeys, even if we don't have a barn yet or something along those lines. Now in the top left, as you might have noticed, all of our resources are displayed. At the moment, the only resources that are going to be displayed are the ones that are in stockpiles. That doesn't mean that this is all we have got on the map, because I think there was still a lot of steel somewhere down here. I forgot where it was because I had a little break between recording sessions, so I'm not sure. Well, you are holding it, but you are not letting me know that it is actually part of the colony, so there you go. And as predicted, Law has recovered from her mood, recovered from her depression. Probably because she got some loving, and she's no longer holding, which is something that she doesn't like. However, if you look at this, she is joyful, which is nice, but she also ate without a table, which makes her a little bit grumpy. That is because we don't have a table yet, guys. We still don't have a dinner table of any description. It's not really that great. She wants some comfort and some beauty in her life, but she's not getting it. Saying that, she's like 35 years old, and he's 37. I thought that she was a lot older than he was, just because of the hair color, but I suppose grey hair can set in at an early age as well. I'm gonna start talking as if I'm a presenter because I won't be able to keep that on for the whole recording. Whew. It is fun to do this. So everyone is working on getting their freezer done, which is a good thing indeed. We need to get the freezer going, we need to get power going, because our food supply is running lower every day. I am going to expand our order for harvesting a lot more plants. Plants. Because we just need a little bit more, you know. We just want some berries in life. There's also a squirrel over there, but we have nowhere to store it, so it's just going to rot forever. And it's not going to be great. Well, the battery's been made, and the start of the solar generator has been made as well. So that's at least something. So, last episode we talked a little bit about gunplay and some other stories. I actually want to talk to you guys a bit about driver's license. A couple of months ago, well, I say a couple of months ago now, it's almost a year, I started doing driving lessons. And for some of you out there who haven't done those, it's something that you should definitely consider. If you got the money, if you got anything, you know, that if you want a job somewhere that requires you to drive, having a driver's license is going to be key to be able to do that job. Now, I didn't get my driver's license for a specific reason. I just started to want to be able to become more mobile in the world. You know, it opens the world up because you become more mobile. If anything, if you compare it to older times when people had to go around by walking or by cart, it took you days to get to another city, maybe. Nowadays, if you got a bicycle, okay, your range of transport has been increased. You can get yourself across the city and maybe close other cities, but you're not going to be able to go to towns that are like on the opposite side of your country or like literally a couple of hours drive. You're not going to be able to bike that, or maybe you are going to be able to, but there's not something you're going to want to do. At least I don't. As much as a bicycle boy I am, I don't want to bike everywhere. I kind of want to be able to drive. Now, I had a little bit of issues in my driver's tests. I want to talk about one specific case. So, I had a number of lessons behind my belt, and it was my first time trying the practical exam for driving. So, as you might expect, nervous as hell. I was just sitting in the waiting room, together with my driving instructor. He's a really nice guy as well. And I started thinking to myself, have I had enough lessons? Do I know enough? And I actually came to the conclusion, no, I don't think I do, because there was still a lot of signs that I was just flat out ignoring because I didn't know exactly what they meant. I just kind of knew what they were referring to, which is not something you want to hear from a student who is just about to do their final driving exam. Now, the story starts where I was in the middle of the test, and I was driving, and at some point, near the end of it actually, I was driving for a fair while, and we were nearing the end of the test, I could tell. So what happens is, he wants me to go to drive onto a highway, which is fair enough. Getting onto a highway doesn't seem that much of an issue. However, this highway was located under a pass on the bridge that we were on top of. Oh well, over on the ridge that we were going up to. So, you have to imagine a straight line upwards, and then you have a turn on the left, and then you have no turn on the right. You have to drive further and then take the turn to the left to get onto the highway. Because what I did, guys, is not what I would advise anyone to do. I almost went into an exit lane of a highway, and there was traffic oncoming, so I had to be stopped with the driving instructor, the guy who was evaluating my exam. He had to intervene, which is automatically like a thing where it's like, that's gonna fail you regardless of anything. If you make a mistake that is so grave that the examiner has to intervene to avoid a potential accident, that's gonna fail you. Because I was imagining afterwards, like, I shouldn't have passed for this, and I rightfully failed. I was thinking afterwards to myself, why could I not tell that I was an exit lane? And that's because I started looking way more towards the road itself rather than to the signs. There was, when I drove past it another time during a normal lesson, I started noticing a lot more that there was a lot indicated on the road itself as long with the signs on the side. But the road signs themselves, like on the physical flat road, there wasn't too much of a hint, but there was like some indicators, like there was a dragged through line as opposed to a dotted line. Now, I haven't ever made that mistake again. It's fairly safe to say, and I don't think that's what anyone would expect either way, because it's a little bit of an experience when you suddenly turn into an exit lane of a highway and you realize, I'm not supposed to be here, am I? It was a moment, alright, and that definitely shook me as well, because even though the exam was almost over, and I did then go into the highway and everything went fine, I didn't cause any crashes or anything, guys, come on. So I went into the highway, got off, and it was fine. But this whole time in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna make it, I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna fuck up again. And it really, really tipped me off my balance. It was kind of funny because I never expected myself to make a mistake that was so, well, could have been potentially so disastrous. Because if you imagine, going in a one-way street is already like not advisable, but it's less dangerous. Most one-way streets are like 30 kilometers an hour if you use the kilometers an hour system instead of miles per hour. I don't know what miles per hour, what it would convert to personally, because it's an inferior system and I'm not going to bother to learn it, guys. I'm sorry. So, one-way streets are not that bad, but they're still obviously bad. You should avoid going into one-way streets, but I made an impactful mistake where I wanted to do a highway in the wrong way around. And that's something that's going to stick by me as well. That's always something that, you know, when you go driving and you just got your driver's license, you're going to think back on the mistakes that you've made and you've been corrected on, and you're going to start looking out for those. And it's a little bit of a sketchy slope, slippery slope, if you will. It's like, if you start pondering on your mistakes like I did during the exam as well as afterwards, you're going to start to make more mistakes. It's the equivalent of in a game being tilted. Now, it doesn't necessarily translate in the same way. You're not necessarily angry. You're not necessarily tilted in the same way you would be in a game. But you're definitely shaken to the point where you're like, oh shit. You know? And that's something that you can experience in lots of things. I think driving is definitely not exclusive to this. I think in terms of any kind of performance, really. Wherever you're being evaluated. And I think that's where a lot of people have issues with stage fright, I believe it's called. Like, it's just literal that one mistake that you notice yourself making, even though stage fright most of the time you might notice it from booing or from someone laughing or something like that. When you notice that mistake yourself and you start fixating on it is when you're going to start making way more mistakes. And that's a sketchy slope, guys. You should definitely be aware. If anything, take this from me. I have seen the message, by the way. I'm just going to finish the story real quickly. Take it from me. Take things one step at a time. If you're going to focus on your mistakes, you're going to make more because you're too fixated on your previous mistakes. And that's something I learned during driving lessons as opposed to any other stage of my life. I've never really been shaken to the same degree. Alright, let's see. A message. A jailbird named Annabelle Hurley calls you from nearby. She is being chased by tribespeople from the Orange Mountain Confederation. She begs for safety and offers to join your colony. Biologically, she's 46 years old. Be warned, if you accept, you'll have to fight off the tribespeople on her trail. Now, we don't have that many people in our colony yet, and I would love to get another one. It's a shame that Rimworld still doesn't have a display to see what the new potential colonist has in terms of skill sets. But regardless of that, we're going to accept her and we're going to prepare for a raid. As soon as she's accepted and she comes over here, on her way to the colony, the raid is going to happen and they're going to immediately attack us. So we're going to offer safety. We're going to see where she's coming from. She's coming from the bottom side of the map. Annabelle, you need to just run over here. And you are. And I think I'm going to have to get our guys to start. Actually, let's see. Do you have any Nah, you have no shooting at all. Do you have any shooting? You do. Okay, then you're going to get this gun. And I'm going to draft you and draft you. And we're going to start setting up an area where we're going to fight. So the pistol guy is going to be a little bit closer. And the Hunt's rifle is going to be over here. Because we're assuming that they're going to come from the bottom. There we are. It's Sam. Sam is the only one that's coming. It's a small raid. Annabelle's obviously not a high-profile prisoner. So we're going to slow down the time and we're actually going to start advancing. Law, you're going to stand over here. Gargoyle is going to stand behind this tree. Actually, maybe you're just going to stand over here and you're going to stand all the way over here. Now, Laura's already firing some shots, but she's not having great luck, guys. I'm going to get Falcon over here as well, just in case. Sam is she just keeps on running. Oh, now she's turned around though. Alright, she's been shot a couple of times. She's got a couple of bruises. She's got a chest wound. And she is down, guys. Alright, so she's not actually dead. At this point, we can still go out to save her. In order to do so, we need to assign a prison. Now, we have 2 unknown bedrooms. One of them is going to be Annabelle's. The other one, we're going to reserve this for prisoners. And we are actually first going to mend her. We are not gonna kill her off. We're actually gonna... Gargle, you're gonna pick up her. You're gonna capture her. You're gonna pick up her. English. You're gonna pick her up and you're gonna drag her to the prison cell where we will tend to their wounds. And when she is fully healed, we're gonna see what the difficulty is gonna be to convert her to our colony. When this is too high for it to be beneficial, where it's gonna take too long and she's gonna consume way too much food for ever doing any work for us, we're going to make sure that she heals up properly if we can. And in doing so, we're going to release her. And it's actually going to improve our relationship with the tribe that she's from. Meaning the less often sent raids our way, which is always a thing you want to do this game. If anything, making friends is a good idea, guys. Trust me there. Alright, let's take this time to inspect Annabelle. Annabelle had a childhood of being a scout. So I'm imagining right now she's got badges. And since she hasn't got any clothes on her, she's got those badges stapled to her. I like imagining that. And in her adulthood, she was a jailbird, meaning that she went from jail to jail. She was never on the street for too long. The traits are annoying voice and nervous. Nervous is a little bit annoying, and an annoying voice is a little bit annoying in terms of speaking with other ones. Alright, who is our medic? Medicine 4, medicine 3. So that would actually have been Law. So, because no one else can doctor, we're going to have Falcon doctor, because Annabelle doesn't like doctoring. Falcon, get over here and tend to her wounds, please. And we're actually going to have him use medicine on this one. Because she has a couple of cuts, and we want her to not get infected if possible. Especially not in the arms, because if she loses her arms, Her manipulation skill is going to get worse for everything. Falcon is just out to get some medicine, I'm assuming. Now, Sam is also in here, and she is still healing, but she is going to bleed out way quicker, and she's going to get infected way quicker. So what we want to do is, we want to also assign Gargoyle. And Gargoyle doesn't like healing, but we're going to make him anyway. If anything, we're going to take off the doctoring as soon as he's done, but we need this to be done just in order to reduce the chances of her getting infected. Now, infection in this game is actually quite in-depth. Infection in this game works as if it would in olden days in real life, where a basic infection like, oh, I got the sniffles, can actually kill you. A wound will fester, and measurements will have to be taken to combat said infection. Now, everyone always says hindsight is 10 out of 10. An ounce of preparation is worth more than a kilo of something. I forgot what the saying was. An ounce of prevention is worth more than a kilo of medication? Something along those lines? Meaning that we want to prevent infections rather than cure it. Because curing it costs a lot of time. And it actually makes them weaker in the process as well. Now, Law is not going to have too much issues. As soon as she is healed, there's no permanent issues. If she would be infected, even when the wounds heal, the infection is going to make her weak for a longer time, which is something that we want to avoid preferably. And the same goes for Sam. If we want to heal him, we don't necessarily want to release him with an infection festering on his whole body. Right, it's going pretty good so far. I am enjoying this. And we have potential to new colonists. Now, since we have a new colonist, we are going to see if we can rename her. And we can. So, we're going to go to randomname.org again. And she is going to be the new bounty hunter that we haven't assigned yet. She's going to be Annabelle Bulldozer Hurley. There we go. What's this? Banish. Oh, we can banish people from the colony now? That's pretty cool. That might have been always there. I've just never used it, so, you know. It is looking quite good, but I think they're going to go to sleep soon, which is maybe a good thing. So we're going to start speeding up time, because you're just eating at the table. I don't know what else you're doing. Yeah, you're going to bed. There we go. Ah. It is a nice game. It's a sad thing that the music stopped, because I do love the music in this game a whole bunch. I am actually starting to find myself a bit short on words. It's a little bit difficult to keep talking about a game, especially when you play it on a normal setting. You're going to have to bring in a lot more of your own input than rather than what's happening in the game, because not a lot is happening that's specifically worth talking about. At least not in these early stages of the game, I don't think. Because Rimworld at the start is a very, very chilled game, as the music represents it as well. It's like, this is like a morning hum they can hear. It very much represents what the game is like at the moment. Because not much is going on, we haven't gotten too many problems, there's no fires, there's no diseases or anything like those lines. Which can definitely happen, and I hope we get to see that part of the playthrough. Now I actually just thought of something. This game can be played in multiple ways. It's saying that there is an end goal to this game. If you played Victoria or some other open-ended games, you're kind of about to set your own goal. The goal for our campaign is going to be basically to get a turkey farm up and running properly, to a degree where we can sell turkeys, we can sell their eggs, we can breed them, and we basically have an infinite supply of turkeys, is what we want to reach. Now in order to do that, we're going to have to get turkeys, but there's also a couple of other things. The overarching goal afterwards would probably be getting towards a space program, because I'm going to slow down time and go into the research tab. Yes, I know we don't have a research bench yet. It's not finished, at least. I don't think. Yeah, no, it's not finished. So, there's a whole bunch of things in there, and you shouldn't be too worried about all these names. You can see by the lines, however, they're connected, and that means the flow of progression. So, we start with electricity, air conditioning, solar panels, batteries, and nutrient paste, as we are crash landers. So, we have some ideas about what those consist of. Now, all the way down this tree, you go to microelectric basics, multi-analyzer, and then you go to shipbuilding basics. Because the actual goal of this game, supposedly, is to get off this planet. is going to be a way off until we're able to do that. Because as you can see, I don't know what this even means. It allows you to use an antimatter containment core to build a reactor to power a ship. Requires 16,000 research. Well, I can tell you guys, these research are not necessarily slow, but they're not the quickest either. They're going to take a couple of days most of the time. And imagine a 400 thing is going to take a couple of days. Imagine how long this is going to take. So, overarching goals, broad strokes, guys, broad strokes. We can forget about that for ages, because we can also very much perish before that happens. And that was the warning horn. We have a raid on our hands. That is Sam. That's not the one we're looking at. We're looking at this one. Alright, Zele the Torturer from the Armadillos. Now, she has a melee attacking a standing lamp. Don't do that. She's got a tactical crossbow that's quite shoddy at 29% durability left. We can't see anything of her stats. She's a really bad shot, guys. I can tell you right there. She's not a great one. She must be like some sort of run-off refugee or something. So, I didn't read if they're attacking now, but in case they are, we are going to start prepping for that and meet them head on. And we're also going to take Bulldozer with us, because Bulldozer is our newest member, and you know what? I think that this is a kind of initiation. Let's get Bulldozer into the gutty works of our society, and let's have her manhandle those enemies. Let's see what she does, because if she is not going to attack us immediately, she's probably going to hover somewhere around here, just pacing by. But it doesn't seem like it. She seems to make a beeline towards us, so we're just going to set up here. Right, Law, you also got a pistol. That's not Law. You're going to stand over here. Bulldozer, you're going to stand over here. Come on, there we go. And you are going to stand over here. That way that as soon as they cross the corner, these guys start having shots at her, and so does Gargoyle, but no one is almost aiming at another person. It is very nice setup that we got going on. Well, actually, you can start moving up there. Right, so we're starting to shoot, and she is also in full cover, which means that we're going to have a little bit of an issue, but we're going to try and flank her. So we're going to move Bulldozer up, and she immediately got shot, but it's not a problem. We're going to start moving her over here. There we go, and she is dead, and Bulldozer is not that bad off, I don't think. We're going to find out. She's got a stab from a tactical crossbow in the chest. That did a heap of damage, guys. Oh my god. We're going to unban this because we want to take this. She also got some medicine on her, which is great. Does she have any gear on her? No, she was just a naked lady that just came to attack us. What a great success story, guys. We're just going to let her roll out there because we don't want to bring her back to the base. You're going to hold that. And Bulldozer, I think maybe you should go to bed. Because it doesn't seem like you got a good thing going on at the moment. Law, you're going to walk over here as well. Because you're going to have to be the one to mend her. Because she's going to be a little bit having an issue walking around with a crossbow bolt in her torso. That being said, guys, I think this is a good point to cut the video. Like and subscribe if you like this video. Leave a comment if you wanna. Solve for repetition anyway, guys. Until next time. See ya!